Good morning, everybody. This is Nelson Marsh, and I am an artist. I have a painting here that I'm attempting. I've never done it before. I can see everything here. I do what's called abstract art, and I'm going to use what's called an acrylic pouring. It's a clean pour compared to a dirty pour. This is what they call, hang on a second here. This is what is, if a dirty pour is when you put all the paints together in one cup and then pour it. This is a clean pour, which I'm using individual paints added right onto the canvas. However, this is not just one canvas. This is a 16 by 20 canvas on the bottom. And on the second layer, there's layers here. The second layer is 8 by 10 canvas, and on the top, very top here, is a 4-inch by 4-inch piece of canvas, square, and they have I put them in different angles, and I have laid string down on top of the canvas, and well, that's just going to be the surprise for the end. So we'll get started, and this is how I mix my paints. This took me a long time. This took me a little over an hour to prepare everything. I have a cup like this. You can get them at I got these at Dollar Tree. They're $1, and they came in about 24 of them. So they're a little brittle, so you got to be careful when you mix together. But they're better for putting drinks in, you know. Here we go. But I take a glue bottle. This is glue all. It's what makes the paint a little bit thicker, or it'll last longer. And then I add equal amount of the color paint I'm going to use. Excuse me. And then I add a touch of water at a time, and I mix the paint so that I get the right consistency of flowing. And what I mean by that, I can show you what I mean by that. Because I want it to pour, when I pour it, I want it to spread out. I want it to spread out so that it's I have enough paint to spread around, and that's about the right This is about the right consistency. As you can see here, I want it to flow like that. So that's a good flow right there. And I've already mixed a few paints together here. This is a purple, and this is sort of an orange. It's an off orange, and it's the right, making sure that everything is at the right consistency. And I have a rather loud yellow, which you can see. Hang on. No, I don't want to end that. Okay, here we go. I'm bumping everything. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? And Ryan, good to see you. So this is my first attempt at what I'm doing here. I have never I've never done anything uh, remotely close to what I'm doing now, and I'm doing it live. So I have no idea what it's going to look like, how it's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be incredible. Because I learned about stacking canvases, put them in like a 3D or a 3-tier painting, and it's a pouring painting, and so we're going to find out how well this works out. And I learned about I've learned quite a bit about abstract painting, and actually, you know what? No matter how it turns out, it's still art. So I'm going to get started here, and I got this little Lazy Susan underneath here, so that it's helpful for me to move around. Excuse me. And to maneuver the painting where I need it to be. And I think, what color are we going to start out with? I'm going to pour a little bit of white and just let that go over like so. That's covering the top. We'll have just let it flow over. Let it flow. Just, let it go where it wants to go. It's happy. It's fine. As long as you don't tease it, or as long as you don't discriminate against it, it should be fine. Bob Ross, I'm not. But these colors will run together and flow over. This is the light blue. And I'm going to see what that yellow does. See what that yellow is doing here. And that makes some wild, wild colors. Now I'm going to use the orange, which I almost spilled. Ooh. That's another thing with my hands and stuff. This is why I have a hard time doing landscape stuff. So this is why abstract is the best art form for me to do. So I'm going to pour that on top. And that looks halfway decent. I'm just going to spread it on a little bit to the other areas of the different areas of the canvas. And I'm just going to give it a little notion that I want it to move somewhere. I want the paint to move a little bit. And I have these stacked. And wow, you can already see. And I forgot to add another ingredient. This will give it cells. Just a little squirt in each paint, and that makes the paint have cells. Little. Well, you'll see in the end here, but you don't need to stir it much after you add the silicone. So basically, it's WD-40, but it's still silicone. And I don't wear gloves because I like to be part of the art, as you can see. And it's I feel it's a flowing thing. It's just absolutely crazy. So now I've got the top covered pretty much, and now I'm going to go around a little bit and tell that paint what I want it to do. So I'm going to take a little bit of purple right here, just sort of splash it a little bit. Make sure the canvas is covered. And that, how about a little bit of light blue in this area, right here, and where I have in between where I have the strings laid. We'll see how that turns out. I've got to do a little bit of spinning here. So the canvas is covered. Okay, we go like that. And we're going for a little spin. And I don't know. Oh, see, you can see the paint starting to flow over onto the other canvas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tip and roll. Make sure that canvas, make sure that paint is flowing onto the final canvas, and see where that goes. But this is an interesting, very interesting color pattern. And so what I'm going to do now, in order not to lose the string, to get unstrung, I am going to pull this way so that it rolls. And I used basically I used any particular color. I didn't have any particular color in mind because I'm basically out of paint. So I had to be constructive or frugal. That's a good name. That's a good name for it. Frugal. I should call myself the frugal painter. And so anyways, now I'm going to tip this a bit more, and you can see how that's flowing. And it's covering the canvases, which is really what I want at the moment. And this helps it. This is going to help it move around a little bit easier. And now these are really wild colors. I didn't really expect to have this kind of a nice outcome, but it's like it's like spacey. So I'm going to do a little bit of yellow pour, a bit more right about here. And this is all just gonna blend together. And when I run out of yellow, I'm out of yellow. I'm gonna try and just I'm gonna try and drizzle it here, and maybe a little bit more yellow. I've lost track of where the different canvases are. I mean, it's just perfect. It's just like, whoa, So I got a little bit of yellow left. Hello. And so I'm going to take a little bit of the white, a little bit more white here. I'm just going to go like that. Because that white's going to run into the yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of purple right here. And, this is what you would call mixed media. This is really mixed up. So like I say, I'm hoping for a good outcome. I did a lot of preparation for this, So I hope that this really turns out and turns out well. So I'm going to use my sort of like a burnt orange. I added some orange and some red together and a little bit of pink so that it would, well, mix together. That yellow, this thing needs a little bit of purple over here. So, and I'm going to tip this in a second here. Whoa, that's a bit much. And we'll just sort of like drizzle the purple over here, like so. And I'm going to do a little bit of a spin here. Now I'll tip and roll. Let them all mix together. Come on, people know. Come on together. And gosh, this is very interesting. Like I say, I've never done this before, but I think I'm pretty happy with it so far. You know, because I got all the string wet. I'm going to take to get the sides now. These sides are pretty much covered for the top and the bottom, or the top and this one. I'm going to take this and just cover a little bit of coverage here, because that's blank right there. So I'm just going to take that and just let it, just get the canvas, do a little bit of mixing, a little bit of messing around, and I probably should have used a little bit of less white. However, it is what it is. So I'm actually quite pleased that the string is actually staying in reasonably put place where I've had it. And I may do a few other adjustments later on, you know, because I mean I glued the canvas together, and I should have, what I thought might be better is if I would take some staples and staple the bottoms parts of it. But however, it came out. It's coming out pretty good, but I think with the glue in the paint mix, it may just stick together, and the thickness of the paint the thickness of this paint may just keep it in line, keep it held together. Like I say, I'm out of equipment pretty much. And I'm trying to see if I can tip that a bit, because this is covering the canvas. I'm very grateful that I had enough paint to cover the entire canvas, you know. And this is just a really cool painting, you know. You just look at a drip there, but it's moving the string. So that's something I wish didn't quite happen, but I have all these guys glued or taped at the ends. So we will see how that will turn out, because it's gonna make a pattern. That's the idea anyway. That's the goal. And I'll probably fill this in a little bit later on the sides. I just want to make sure I have a good everything, basically everything covered. All the whole canvas is covered. These are. This is totally wild. This is like it's out of my league. Being being an artist, I don't want to just be stuck to one thing, and so I got to redo the string just a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that when I mix this together, these are my paint clothes, so don't worry about it. These are my paint clothes. Oh, I'm gonna need a bath. Okay, so now I have a little bit of. I know how I'm going to finish covering this, because I have a little bit of paint left that I saved, and then it's going to cover the spots that haven't flown over. So maybe my paint needs to be a little bit more consistent, a little bit more consistency. But as you can see, it's not bad. Really fun to do. I like getting dirty, but and I like being creative, and it's a little hard to do. I've got a lot more challenges than your average person. I have I got a lot of issues physically and stuff like that, and so I make do with what I have. And you got to. It's you don't have to, but it's what I do, what I would recommend. If you have an obstacle, don't wait for it to move for you. You got to move around it, and move around it, get past it. That's an important thing, because if you don't, then you're just going to be stuck where you're at. And I guess what I'm saying is, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. And I'm going to tip this, and I'm going to show you guys. Do a little bit of tip here. And all the canvas is covered. That is for sure. Now, this is now for the scary part. And I've never done this before. And so we will see how this goes, because this took me over an hour to prepare, to set up, and if there's still some blanks, if there's still some open spots on the canvas, on the edges, I'm just taking my thumb and dabbing a little bit, and that's covered. You don't always need a paintbrush. If you don't have a paintbrush, if you're out of it, of a paintbrush, use a napkin, use a piece of paper towel, or like me, use your thumb. You know, put your whole body into it. I mean, you know, I'm hoping one of these days I'll have this like huge canvas, like humongous canvas, and I'm gonna get on a pair of long johns, an old pair of long johns, and throw paint on. I'm gonna roll myself all over it. I mean, I think that would just be fantabulous. So now, here we go. Now, I told you there's going to be a surprise at the end, and it's a surprise to me too. This is going, I taped these strings together at the ends. And now, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to spin these so that the strings come together, and they're going to pull from the end. They're going to pull here. And that's going to lift up, and that's going to make another pattern. It's supposed to be making another pattern. And that's going to, wow, I see it starting to happen. This is just phenomenal. Oh, look at it. It's just like, it's part of the spinning action, and it's part of the way I laid the string. And this is just fantastic. I am like really excited here. I mean, this is something like this is nothing I've ever done before. And it's like, you know, I'm either going to be a nut, or this is going to turn out to be a way cool idea, and I think it is. And you know, I just can't, I can't express how much I'm excited. Oh, it's making like flowers. It's making like a flower pattern. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is just beyond my imagination of what this would turn out to be. And even the colors the colors are pretty wild. I would probably change the color pattern a little bit. But it's just turning out crazy. And so I'm not disappointed at all. You know, and it's just like, wow. You know, my only hope is that the canvases that are stacked stay together, and you know, do what they're supposed to do. And we're getting to the end of our string here, and wow, I'm just wow, you know. And there we have it. Oh. We have a very interesting paint thing here. Ooh. Wow. Well, guys, I'll try to give a tip here. These turn into be like a flower on the edge, you know, and this is just a little bit of flowing left. So, as you can see, you know, it might look a little messy right now, but I think it's cool. And it's almost like a field of flowers. That's what it reminds me of. So, wow. I think it too dirty. So I think that is about it. Like I say, so I took, again, for people just joining, I took 3 canvases. The bottom one's a 16 by 20 glued, and the 8 by 10 is glued on to the top of that at a different angle, and another angled piece of 4 by 4 canvas, and it just makes to be just incredible. Just, you know, the string part was totally out of line, probably, but it really made a cool pattern. And like I said, once this dries, it'll reveal itself better. So I've got to put this where it will dry. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this little program here. And we will probably dry about 24 hours. So probably sometime tomorrow morning, if that. So I need to move this. Whew. It's a monster. And this, whoa, got it over here. Whew. So these are all my paintings in the background. These are all mine, and including, there's tons of stuff I want to show you guys. There's tons of demonstrations I still want to do, because I've done record albums, which are those on the ceiling. I have quite the collection of paintings that I've done in a variety of styles. And so, well, it's hard. This is just right on my computer, so my laptop, so it's kind of hard to show you everything. But, well, thanks for watching me, and hope I have some good comments, and anybody have any good ideas or suggestions, or if you want me to try something totally different like I did today, give me a shout, leave me a message. And again, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. And I gotta clean up. I'm art myself. See you later.